gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the chairman of the Munich Security Conference, Ambassador Christoph Heusgen.
Herr Bundespräsident, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear friend. Welcome to this year's Munich Security Conference. Before we start, I would like us all to take a few seconds of silence for the victims of yesterday's dreadful car attack here in Munich. As you know, the Munich Security Conference is deeply connected to the city of Munich, and our thoughts and solidarity goes out to those affected by this tragedy and to their families. Thank you very much. Since Ewald von Kleist 61 years ago organized the first conference, US presence at the MSC has always been a defining feature. It's my pleasure to again this year welcome a strong US delegation. It was also Ewald von Kleist who later on put Europe on the agenda. Today, it's no longer a nice-to-have. Today, it's a must-have. Europe is expected to play a key role in security, and I'm happy that we can welcome today the EU leadership. Horst Teltschik, the MSC's second chairman, after the fall of the Iron Curtain, included Russia. But the end of history didn't happen. Putin destroyed the European security architecture. He chose confrontation over cooperation. And unfortunately, during the coming days, we have to once again deal with Putin's war against Ukraine. I warmly welcome the Ukrainian delegation. The third MSC chairman, Wolfgang Ischinger, opened up the MSC to a broader understanding of security. The conference now addresses climate, energy, health, food, cyber, AI, and disinformation. I'm deeply convinced that the many problems we are confronted with today warrant a global response. This is why I'm very happy that the MSC has become a truly global conference with many leaders from Africa, Asia, and Latin America. And a special welcome to all of you. We have raised the number of representatives from these continents on our podiums to 30%. And by the way, I kept my promise, and for the third year in a row, there are 50% women on our stages. The MSC's motto is peace through dialogue, and I hope that you will all use this conference to try and contribute to achieving this objective. Dialogue is needed more than ever in view of a record number of ongoing conflicts, from Sudan to Ukraine to Haiti to Somalia, the DRC and Myanmar. In the Middle East, the ceasefire is hanging by a thread. To contribute to the objective of lasting peace, the MSC has established a dedicated Middle East consultation group with participants from the region. Our Munich Security Report discusses the theme of multipolarization. Multi, because we are debating about the number of political poles this world has, about the domestic polarization we face, and about the question if there is one or are there multiple international orders. My view is very clear. Our debates and the solution to the many problems we face have to be based on one ordering principle, the rule of law. For Germany's first Chancellor, Konrad Adenauer, the most important objectives were peace and the rule of law. In this respect, the German Constitution has been extremely successful. On the European level, when we have differences, we no longer go to war, but to the European Union in Brussels and the European Court of Justice in Luxembourg. On a global scale, after the horrors of World War II, world leaders were also committed to the rule of law. They enshrined their commitment in the Charter of the United Nations and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The UN Security Council, the General Assembly, the International Court of Justice, the International Criminal Court, and many more institutions were established to safeguard the rule of law. I'm convinced there is no better alternative in sight. So this conference will be about peace through dialogue, but also about the imperative that the pursuit of peace through dialogue is based on the rule of law and not on the rule of the strongest. When opening my first two conferences, I recognized personalities who have made a difference in advancing the rule of law, democracy, freedom, and human rights. 2 years ago, it was Javier Solana. Last year, it was George Soros. And this year, I want to recognize a friend of the MSC, a supporter, very important, of Bayern Munich, but more importantly, someone who has done more than anyone else to promote and revitalize Jewish life in Germany, to promote reconciliation and resist polarization, and that is Charlotte Knobloch, a Holocaust survivor, for years president of the Central Council of Jews in Germany and vice president of the World Jewish Committee. I was deeply moved when I paid a visit to your wonderful synagogue on 9th October 2023. Charlotte Knobloch. I would like to express my gratitude to all our supporters and partners who make this conference possible. The State of Bavaria, the City of Munich, the Federal Ministry of Defense, and the people of Munich who have endured and are enduring our blocking of parts of the city, our generous business and foundation partners, our host broadcaster, Bayerischer Rundfunk, who will be broadcasting the conference live on BR24, and last but not least, the wonderful MSC staff. It is now my honor to introduce to you for the opening speech the German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier. Mr. President, you stood here 11 years ago as Foreign Minister and urged Germany's political establishment to assume more international responsibility. 5 years ago, you joined the MSC as Federal President and made a strong pledge for the international rule of law and European unity. What will be your message today, 1 week ahead of German elections? Mr. President, thank you very much for joining us.